The chickens been here now for about almost 2 months now, 8 weeks, and figured it was time to let you see how they're doing. We've only named 3 of them so far. That's Squanto right there, and Buffy, the Buff Orpington, of course, that was a lazy one, and Jesus back there, the one that walked on water. The other 2, I'm able to identify them without having to have names for them, so haven't named them yet. Not sure what's going on with my camera here, but it keeps focusing in and out. So they're enjoying the coop and the pen area. I've got my compost pile here that they've been happily scratching through, and they've been enjoying their time in the pen area, in the coop, in the run. They've been had no problems adapting to the horizontal waterer. They took to that within minutes, so there hasn't been a problem at all. And just this morning, as a matter of fact, I checked the water in the barrel. It's still very clean, and so I think that's working out well. And they do like going underneath there and hanging out. A lot of times I actually spend underneath the coop itself. And here comes Squanto. Not sure why the hell I call him Squanto. I remember a friend recommended I call him Squanto, and I forget the reasoning behind it, but I kept the name. And unfortunately, Squanto's a rooster. He's been crowing all of a sudden, and so we can't keep him. He's got to go. We're not allowed to have roosters here where I live. The coop isn't, so close to the neighbors. They're way back there. But even so, he starts trying to crow at around 8 in the morning, and he goes on from then, and then takes a break for a little while. So I actually have someone coming to pick him up. I put an ad on Craigslist for him, and they responded within a half hour, 45 minutes. So sadly, Squanto won't be part of the flock anymore. And that's a shame because, well, right now he's got a nice personality, but I hear he'll lose that quick enough. And I'll just give you a quick look inside the coop. As I had mentioned, I'm practicing the deep litter method, and you start off with just a small amount of bedding, a couple of inches, and you just let it build up over time. So I'm using hemp. Let me just open up these doors here. There we go. Now I can get in. So I'm using hemp in here, and I was told that hemp and this deep litter method makes it so that there's no smell. And I gotta say, I'm surprised. I mean, it's only been 3 weeks, I guess, that the chickens have been in here, but there is definitely no smell, and it's not even like damp or anything like that here. So it's absorbing all the poop that they're pooping, and they're adapting well to it. I still have a heat lamp in here that I turn on at night because surprisingly it's still been cool overnight. It gets warm during the day, like right now it's about 95, but at night it drops down into the 40s, 50s. So I'm keeping the heat lamp at least for a little while longer anyway, maybe another couple of weeks, or until it just stays warm the whole time. But as I said, they're adapting it. They congregate right here, which is not surprisingly right under the heat lamp, and that's where they sleep. I have this board in here for allow them to get up into the nesting boxes when that time comes. I have the nesting boxes, of course, still closed off right now, and it's worked out well, this coop. So I'm happy with how it's gone. close this. And of course I leave the outer doors open all day long just so that they get plenty of ventilation. Of course they do actually hang out in here during the day. It's probably because it's a little bit cooler in here during the day than it is out in the sun. And they also hang out underneath the coop. I have sand down there, so they like to hang out there, which I'm sure is also cooler. And that's usually where he perches. The other chickens will end up going underneath into the sand area, but he sits up there kind of like watching over his flock. So it'll be sad to see him go. So that's it, just a quick update on the chickens. They've actually grown quite well. They seem to be quite healthy. And sadly, we do have a rooster, it seems. So he's got to go. And as I said, sorry to see him go, but it's necessary. I had originally wanted 4 chickens, and that's what I ended up now with. And they probably won't start producing eggs until about September or October. Right now it'll just be them adapting and growing until then. So let me just give you a quick update now on the grapevine. When I did the June garden update video, I said I wasn't going to trim the grapevines until the end of the year, but I ended up trimming them anyway. And what I did was, on any branch like here, I trimmed right up to the second set of fruit. So you got the one, which is the main, and the second one as a backup. And on every branch that had 2, I trimmed it back. So you've got one here, and then the second one here. This one's got 1 and then 2. So all along the grapevine, that's how I handled it. Also, I originally had the vine spiraling around the post of the pergola, but to get a little bit more room up and then out, since I'm trying to grow it across the top of the pergola all along here, I ended up carefully unwinding it from the post, and then I ran wire. You can see the wire right here. I ran the wire up to an eye hook. So there's an eye hook right up here. Wait, there's my finger, there we are. We have an eye hook here, and one about 1/3 of the way up from the base right here. And I strung the wire here. And right now I'm just using twist ties from like bread or baggies, and to hold it in place. And then you can probably see right up here there's a wire running. So I've got a wire running this way, and there's more wire running down the length along here on some of the rafters. And what I did, you can see right up here, there's a twist tie on the wire and the vine, and that's just to hold it in place and to train it along the beam there. And I did the same thing on the other side over here. Unwound it from the post, stretched it out, and lifted it up. Now this vine here was interesting in that it had no fruit on it whatsoever. So I just kept that one lifted up, and that one's actually growing this way along the top. So hopefully next year it'll end up developing fruit and also vines to grow in that direction all along. But right now, the main vine grows up this way, and I've got it stretched out going down along the outside, and hopefully we'll start getting some to go this way and eventually cover in the whole area up here. So now this is my green Niagara grapes. I don't know if it's an earlier variety than The others over here, those are the red seedless, the Reliance. But these grapes are certainly looking a heck of a lot more developed than the others. And they're much further along in actually becoming grapes. So that's pretty exciting, actually, that we'll get a nice grape harvest this year. Now, these have actually really sprung into action. 2 days ago when I looked at these, they still had like the little flowers on them. I didn't see them just like this. They still had the flowers on them. And today, 2 days later, they're starting to swell now. So looks like we'll get more grapes with the red Reliance than we do with the green Niagara, but we'll these will develop, it seems, later than those will, which is fine. Spread them out. Also, the grapes that I am using to propagate new vines, they seem to be doing well. I installed this fencing here, and they're now growing up the fence. So hopefully they're putting down roots now, and we'll see. We'll see how it goes at the end of the season, and I peel it back and see if there are any roots growing on these branches. So that's it. Just a quick update on the chickens and the grapes. As I said, I'll be getting rid of the Rooster in a few minutes, and sad to see him go, but it's necessary. And looking forward to having a nice grape harvest this year. If you like what you see, consider subscribing to the channel if you'd already do so, and hit that alarm button. That way you'll be notified right away when videos like this are posted. And check us out on Facebook, where I regularly update on how I'm turning my suburban home into a homestead. Okay, thanks for watching.